was never going to be that bad again. That's what Russell Martin said after the last game against Club Brugge, and it's managed to be doubly worse. Let's get one thing straight. If there is not a tweet from Rangers before that plane lands in Glasgow to say that that man has been sacked and is no longer the manager of our football club, then there will be annoyance. I'm not going to say that other word. There will be annoyance. I'm going to keep it clean tonight. I know that we're all raging. We're all absolutely bubbling. None of us expected to win that game tonight. We all expected to lose. We all knew we were going to lose that game. But the manner in which we did, again, is diabolical. It's embarrassing. It's not fitting of a Rangers team. The players don't get away with it either, by the way. The players don't get out of this without the criticism that they absolutely rightly deserve. But that man who calls himself a football manager has to be gone now. There's no argument now for him to stay at this football club. That was one of the single worst performances I've seen from a Rangers team. And we all remember the Pedro days. And we all remember the third division days and the second division days and the championship days. We remember not winning the championship. We remember getting absolutely annihilated off Motherwell in the playoff to make it to the SPFL top league. That was worse tonight. That was embarrassing. The players had chucked it. Let's not kid ourselves. The players on that park had absolutely chucked it. They're not playing for Martin. Raskin's smiling with 5 minutes to go because he's miscontrolled the ball and it's went to the goalkeeper and he's gave somebody a wee wink as if to go, well, it doesn't really matter anyway. The players have chucked it. Russell Martin is not a good football manager. He's a terrible, terrible football manager who has one plan, and that is get beat but play nice football. And he's not even playing nice football at Rangers. He's got to go. He has to go. Rangers need to tell us tonight or tomorrow. They need to give us something. He cannot be in that dugout on Sunday. He absolutely cannot be in that dugout for Sunday. Because let me tell you something right now. CV is expect another result like that tonight on Sunday. Against a mediocre Celtic team, expect that result again. Because that's exactly what's going to happen. Because that man is a grade A idiot. A grade A idiot, and that's me being kind. Ian, Connor, hello. Welcome along to this reaction. Not a nice one tonight, Ian, but I feel like I've said that after every reaction.
Yeah, it seems to be a recurring theme, and we're only, 3 weeks officially into a season. Let's take it from the league starting, not the Champions League, because they were effectively for us pre-season friendly because we didn't bother to arrange any. It's just an absolute farce. All right, Motherwell, you can go. All right, fair enough. You go to Motherwell on the first day of the season. Steven Gerrard drew 3-3 his first game of the season at Motherwell. Okay, you can accept the draw, maybe, possibly. Not accept it, but you kind of understand it. Dundee at home. No, that's not acceptable. St Mirren away. Tricky, but you should be beating them with what we've got. No, it doesn't happen. Panathinaikos. If Panathinaikos had players who could shoot, we wouldn't have made it to Bruges. If Pilsen didn't have an off night, we would not have made it to Bruges. And then Bruges turned up and went, we are going to show you how this is done. We are a Champions League team. There's no way in hell you're getting through it. Both legs of players have been awful. De Giga, I don't know what's going on with De Giga. When he first came in, he did it. He's done what Proper did. Came in, looked decent, and then fell apart. Aaron's, I'm better off not talking about Aaron's. As Mourinho once says, I'd rather not speak, otherwise I get in trouble.
We're going to speak about Aaron's. We're going to speak about him.
Yeah. I mean, I've already seen a tweet from CJ Novo saying, sack him, cancel all the loans, start again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where we go. He's got to go.
Ian, we are going to, if he's in the dugout, which I very highly doubt he will be, if he's in the dugout on Sunday, we are going to get absolutely annihilated off of a team who just lost to a pub team. Yep. Literally a pub team. They've got put out by, and we're going to get annihilated by them on Sunday if he's stuck in the dugout.
I said it to Alex in the watch along. I said that they're poor. They are a poor Celtic team compared to seasons gone by. But Maeda, Nygren, and even Yang will love playing against that backline because we give so much space. All we had to do at the start was defend well, try and hit them on the break. If we can nick a goal, they have to think. But we literally the first 2 minutes, I'm saying, why are we defending on the halfway line? Why are we defending that? Because they'll just knock it over and they'll leg it through. We learned nothing. The answer to that question was no. he should do the decent thing and not wait to be sacked and walk away. But his ego won't let him do that because he's a walking ego, and he's brought players in as egos as well because that's the type of man he is. He needs to go, and he needs to go now.
Yeah. Connor, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, follow that, scunnered, absolutely scunnered. I don't know where to start. Is the honest truth of the matter. We all had trepidation about Russell Martin when he was announced. None of us wanted him in the door. He wasn't the first choice for anybody, even the board. He wasn't the first choice for, no matter what they try and tell you, no matter the story that Patrick Stewart tries to spin. He wasn't their first choice either. He wasn't their standout candidate. That's nonsense, right? We all know that. But when a manager comes in, you back him because you have to. You say, right, okay, well, he's not the first choice, but let's get behind him. Let's get things moving in the right direction at this club. He made a lot of signings, and on the surface of it, some of them on paper, you thought, yeah, okay, look good. Yasama comes in, his first couple of games, he's brilliant. His debut, he comes on and scores an absolute screamer against Panathinaikos, and you're going, do you know what? Great, and it has just collapsed around him since then. And the problem is Russell Martin. Nobody knows what he's trying to do. The players don't have a clue what they're supposed to be doing on the park. The fans watching it don't have a clue what it is they're supposed to be watching. That tonight, listen, it was already a mountain tonight. We knew that. We said in the build-up and get into this game that we all accepted that the chances of us winning that game tonight and getting through were very slim. We all accepted that. But there's ways to lose games, Martin. There's ways to go out of competitions, and you go out swinging. You push as far as you can. You try your best. I see none of that tonight. From the word go, there was nothing. And I am not in this planet. Am I going to sit here and say, well, we went down to 10 men, that's what happened? No. That
happens with 11 men in the park. That same result happened.
Oh, I totally agree, which is why I'm not giving it as an excuse. Russell Martin cannot use it as any kind of excuse. I mean, just diabolical. And the thing is, do you know what? And I know we'll come on to Aaron's, but did we not say in the build-up, Martin, that he shouldn't have been starting? Everybody, Stevie Wonder could tell you he shouldn't have been starting. He was clearly, the form he's been in, nowhere near in the right place to be starting. And people criticise Tav, rightly so at times, but I'm telling you now, Tav would not have made that decision that Aaron's made. You just run alongside him there, and you've got another player that's not too far behind you as well. There's still a lot of grass for him to cover. To pull him down there is just schoolboy rookie era defending, and it's exactly what we've seen last week, it's what we've seen this week, it's what we've seen every game. He's not kept a clean sheet. What does that tell you? It tells you the guy can't set up a defence to save his life.
No, listen, let's just call a spade a spade. Aaron's has done that. Aaron's has chucked it in. Absolutely chucked it. He knows he's getting sent off. We're already 4-1 down because they're already 1-0 up due to his incompetence at the back, along with the central defenders in Magoma, which we'll come to in a minute as well. But Aaron's has just chucked it and went, I don't want any part of this.
I don't know if Aaron's is getting confused of what day it is. I think he thinks it's Sunday evening and in a different country just down the road from Belgium in Paris, and he's gone for Clash in the Castle in Paris because he's cross-bodied the fella. You know what I mean? He's literally cross-bodied him and tried to go for a pin. He's got his days confused. He's forgot what he's watching. He is, I don't know. I was quite excited when he came in because I've seen Max Aarons play football for other teams and I thought he was decent. Right now, I don't get it. I mean, he's come in. I don't know if it's a Martin thing or what he wants him to do and he can't do it, or Martin won't let him do what he wants to do, or whatever it is. But he's a shadow of the player I remember even playing because he played here in Norwich, so I know doing that like he's playing in back garden. But he was a decent player. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if that's a Russell Martin effect at all, but. If he wears, Jerome Rothen, that's what brings me on when I look at Aaron's. And if he plays another game for us, then they're going to continue to batter us down that side. Tav, yes, he's lost a bit of pace, and yes and no, a lot of the goals came down Tav's side, but he's just a better player than Aaron's. So you're going to have to go with Tav from now on in. And he won't be playing in Europe for the next 3 games because that's a 3-match ban after tonight anyway. If they do cancel loans, this would be the first one I'd get shot of and send him away, and I would just promote someone up from the what was the B team and just say, right, it's your spot.
There's no other explanation, Connor, for what Aaron's done other than he's went, nah, no for me. I'm out. I think it's been shown since he came in, and as Ian said there, look, he's played well for Norwich in the past. He's not a terrible football player, but he does not have the mentality. He does not have the confidence. He doesn't have the balls to play for Rangers.
No. And that's self-evident in the performances we've seen from him so far. I mean, that tonight's a disgrace from him. It's an absolute disgrace. You know, I'd love to have come on here tonight and been able to say, do you know what? That's a terrible decision for that referee. See that decision? That's absolutely scandal. You can't. You absolutely can't. Because he's sold the jerseys in every sense of the word. Aaron's, look, we're 1-0 down on the night at that point. We're 4-1 behind on aggregate, right? The tie's probably dead. However, you're actually still in a match. Even though the scoreline is what it is, on the night you're still in a match, so you can still make it a respectable score and you can still put an effort in that early on.
Mm-hmm.
But Max Aarons decides just to give it up. Nah, I've had enough. I'm tapping out here. See you later, boys. I'm away. Disgrace. Absolute disgrace. You cannot do that. And I don't even, as I said, it's not one of those ones like with Giga against St Mirren, for example. If Giga doesn't do that, the boy's clearly going to be clean through. There's no getting away from it, right? There's nobody else to stop him. Aarons doesn't need to. Aarons has got the pace that he could have kept up with. Just run stride for stride alongside him. Try and maybe just lean him with the shoulder. You know, put him off. Then that at least it buys time for Suter, for example, or Giga, who are tracking back to get back into position. To make that decision. I'm honestly so close to saying he should never wear a Rangers shirt again after that, to be perfectly honest with you. But he's not the only one tonight over the last 2 weeks that's absolutely embarrassed themselves in this football club. So it's hard to fully single him out, but that's, for me as a player, as you guys have said, just utterly given up. And that's unacceptable for Rangers. You cannot do that.
Russell Martin is speaking apparently to TNT Sport just now. As soon as that is made available online, I will bring you exactly what he said. It'll be interesting to see who he's thrown under the bus, because it certainly won't be himself, unless he does something that he's not done yet and actually take responsibility for his performances, for the performances of this team and for his starting lineups. I mean, Ian, me and Connor spoke about it before the game, and you know, I even tried to make an excuse. I can't believe it. I tried to make an excuse and go, well, maybe, just maybe, there's a reason why Aarons is playing in front of Tav, even though I did also say he's got no confidence right now. He doesn't know what he's doing on the pitch right now, and he needs a bit of time away. But maybe there's a logical reason why he's starting over Tav. But there was no logical reason for why Nico Raskin did not start that game. None
whatsoever. And I don't know what they do in the warm-up, because Rothwell looked knackered before the game started. He
done nothing in the game, by the way.
Did nothing, didn't even know he was there.
On his arse.
To be fair, at one point in the second half, I had to look on the team to see if they brought Raskin on, because I wasn't entirely sure what the subs were and I hadn't heard his name. But, I mean, Rothwell's offered nothing. That Panathinaikos game, I think we all got a little bit carried away. We give it if he keeps going like this, he'll be a Stephen Davis-esque type of player. We need to stop being so quick to judge players in a good way and wait. Mm-hmm. Equally, we need to stop being the same way we do when they're bad players. We need to wait and to see actually what happens. I don't know what Rothwell brings to the team. They cut to him on the bench in the second half. He'd been on the bench for nearly 45 minutes and he still looked knackered. So, again, another one where Raskin starts over him every single day of the week and twice on Sundays. So he shouldn't, again, another one, and I will say it, Connor, I said that Aarons and Rothwell, for me, they don't wear the shirt again. They sit on the bench to keep the seats warm. That's it. That's all they do. Because I don't see what they're doing. Yes, Mr. Baseman, they train like beasts. They're in the same camp as Scott Wright and Brandon Barker and all that lot, who are beasts in training, do bugger all on the park. So, again, I wouldn't play him again. They will. They'll be there on Sunday. If he's in charge, they'll be there on Sunday, and we'll just get rolled all over by them.
I'm seeing a few quotes of stuff that he said. I'm going to wait to play. I'm going to wait to play the full interview, because I can't read any more quotes, because it's just going to make me more angry. Connor, I've been speaking all week, and I know it's only Wednesday, and we've got a few super chats to get through, folks, and I promise that I'll get to them, and we've actually got a couple of new members, and I'll get to that as well in a wee second, I promise. I've been speaking all week, in fact, all last week as well, about how I'm fed up coming on here every single day of my life and being negative, right? I'm trying my best to find positives where I can. The only positive for me from tonight was the performance of Jack Butland.
Which is mental when you've lost a game 6-0. That your best player in the park is your goalkeeper. But you know what? He's the only one that actually really put an effort in. He's the only one that...
He's the only one that cared, Connor. He's the only one that cared.
He was getting no support at all from his defence. And there's only so much you can do as a goalkeeper in that situation. I mean, there were times, that finished 6th, right? But that could have been so much worse. The amount of chances they had. And there were times as well, and there was one point, goes across the 6-yard box and their captain's standing there, just dribbling it along their 6-yard box. Now, he doesn't shoot for some reason. He's obviously trying to walk it in and really take the piss, which is foolish of him. But, come on. Somebody go and do something. Somebody go and win do anything. The defending is every single cross, every corner kick into the box looked like they were going to score. Butland's having to produce save after save. And unfortunately, there's nothing he can do about the goals that he concedes. Last week, there's a debate to be had about his responsibility in the first goal last week. There's no doubt about it. But this week, I'm not sure what more Jack Butland can do. If I'm Jack Butland in that changing room, I'm furious. He's the only one that I would fucking let on the plane back up the road. The rest of them can get a bus, as far as I'm concerned, and stew in their nonsense, because it's unbelievable. Honestly, beggars belief in... You know what I can't understand? You could see very quickly, very early on, it wasn't working. You could see we were in banging trouble at the back. Does Russell Martin make any change? No. He waits till half-time when we're 5-0 down and then goes, oh, right, okay, maybe I'll make some changes here, and what I'll do is we'll try and tighten up at the back. And it actually takes us to go 6 down before he puts 5 at the back and ends up finishing with a 5-4-0 formation, effectively. And you're just thinking, is it, sometimes damage limitation comes into it. But, it's headless chickens stuff. I said this last week. They need to start playing the Benny Hill theme tune every time we try and defend, because that's what it is. It's just an utter shambles.
Yeah, it is. I'm seeing some quotes for this presser, by the way, and it's making me angry. It's making me really, really angry. It actually cut at one point. Dougie Park. What's Dougie Park doing over in Bruges? You know what I mean? And Thelwell was sitting there, Ian, and I'm thinking to myself, well, they're there watching this. There's no other takeaway for us than that man has got to go. There's no other takeaway. You're on mute, by the way.
I'm trying to get sent off, so I don't have to do this. But they've been there. But I'd said it again. Something else I put in the watch along chat is I think Thelwell, Purdy, Stewart, Martin, they've just gone, it's only Scotland, lads. It's a piece of piss. We'll sort this out, no problem. Europe's not important. We can breeze the league. We'll get back into the Champions League next year. It's not a problem. We've got Europa League. We'll be all right. Every single one of them, all 4 of them for me, can just take a run and jump, get on a flight to anywhere. Just don't come back to like you said, when you jumped in on the watch along, they need to do something, because if they don't do something, he's going to need protection from that airport just to get to his car.
Yeah, so, I didn't want to use the word in my opening gambit. I didn't want to use the word riot. I wasn't going to say the word riot, but inciting and all that. You know what I mean? The way that the world is now, inciting and all that.
Sure.
But it's not going to be pretty. But I have to tell you both. We do have his interview.
Yeah,
so
yay!
Yes, let's hear what he's got to say. We'll discuss it when we come back, and then we'll get through some of the super chats as well. So here is the Imposters post-match reaction.
Russell, you said this could have been a great week for Rangers. How do you explain the performance tonight?
Well, we start terribly. The first time they enter our half, they score again, the same as the other night, which is just madness, really. And then we have a man sent off. That makes a really difficult task even more difficult. And then we completely lose our heads before half time. So a tough night got even tougher. really self-inflicted. So I have nothing to say but really apologise to the fans that travelled and the fans that watched it back home. And the job of a head coach and manager is to now make sure it doesn't happen again and respond properly. We didn't respond well enough to an early setback tonight, and it shouldn't happen. It's just such basics. And now we have to show a big response on Sunday.
Why does it keep happening? These sort of capitulations, these bad starts. Even today, going down to 10 men, it seems to unravel very quickly. Yeah,
very. Yeah. So there's not enough harmony or care for each other quite yet, but we knew that coming in. We've known that in the games prior, and we have to try and build that with a group somehow. So, we have to heal and we have to make sure we get stronger through this.
What do you mean by not enough harmony?
I mean, there's not enough players that really want to fight for each other at the club yet. The window will shut on Monday, and I'm sure that will change. And it's been disrupted. The harmony's been disrupted for sure. And there's some guys that are really, really trying and really fighting, and we have to really, really kick on for Sunday now.
Those players who affected that harmony, were they involved tonight? Were they not?
Individual players. I'm talking about the whole group, the group as a whole. The harmony of the club, the harmony of us. So it's not an excuse. We need to be much better. Again, I apologise. It's nowhere near acceptable for this group. For us, it really hurts. It's really humiliating tonight. And we have to make sure that we respond in the right way on Sunday.
I don't know if you could hear, but the supporters in the away end were already calling for your head and wanting your position to come under threat. What do you say to them that can persuade them that you can turn this around and get them back on side?
No, I can't say anything. I apologise for the performance. They've been great. And the only way we can respond and say anything to them is by winning the game and putting in a really top performance on Sunday to build from.
Do you believe that you will get that chance? Do you have any fear about your job even at this early stage?
No. Patrick and Kevin, I've had a chat with them already. They're amazingly supportive. They understand that this might take time. They knew that before we came in. They understand the club's position, where we're at, and now all the focus is on Sunday.
When you say the focus is on Sunday, I'm sure the players in there are on the floor. How on earth do you try and pick them up for such a big game on Sunday?
No, the only thing we can do tonight is accept the pain, accept the humiliation, accept the hurt that we all should feel, and we're all going to feel, and then use it as fuel. It's really as simple as that. There's no other choice. There is another choice, but it's not an acceptable one for us in this group right now.
Obviously, it is so early, but these games against Celtic tend to define the season for Rangers supporters. This first one at Ibrox, the atmosphere may not be the most positive after the game tonight. How much is this game going to define maybe your tenure here?
We'll see. I can't answer that now. All I know is we have to be ready and to perform and to win and to make sure the energy in the stadium is different to what you've just said. So we can only do that by performing and winning the game.
Appreciate your time.
Top man.
Right, no, that can't be right. Can't be right, Connor. He's already spoke to Thelwell and Stewart, and his position's safe. They knew it was going to take time. But once the transfer window shuts, everything's going to be all right.
What? Sorry, but what? I mean, that's the biggest pile of pants you've ever seen and heard in your life. How possibly, when you see what's happened, when you see the fact that he's failed to win in his first 3 games domestically, which hasn't happened since 1989. Now, don't get me wrong, somebody will probably say, but we actually still win the league in 1989-90. Well, that's true, but he's not going to win the fucking league, I'll tell you that right now. But I tell you, how can you have a conversation like that with him after what we have seen, after the poor performances domestically, after the defensive collapses we've seen, and they go, oh no, you're safe, it's just easier, Russell, don't worry about that. We knew it was going to take time. Time is something that we don't have. Patrick Stewart spent the whole summer saying, no, we need to get this right for the club. We can't keep going around in this merry-go-round of managers. We need to get this right. We need to make sure that this club's competing again. That was all the buzzwords he was saying. And now he's apparently happy to accept mediocrity. And I've never heard any nonsense in my life about this. Oh, well, we'll be fine when the transfer window shuts. It's causing disharmony. Why is a transfer window causing you disharmony? This happens every summer. This is natural in football. You still have to win games of football because guess what? The season starts in August. It doesn't start in September. We're already 6 points behind Celtic as it stands. And right now, you're looking going, well, if we lose at the weekend, we'll be 9 behind before August is finished. Since when did it become an acceptable thing for Rangers just to basically throw the month of August and go, it doesn't matter. Once September comes in the transfer window, I mean, no, I'm sorry. And you know what? It's the same crap we heard last year with Philippe Clement when he said, we'll be better come October, November. Why are we getting managers in the door who seem to think it's okay to just phone it in for a couple of months of the season before we get it right? It's just not how it works. Not just at Rangers, but in Glasgow in general, at any club. It does not work that way. So, I mean, Russell Martin, if what he said there is true, then there are serious questions for the board to be answering. Serious questions for Thelwell, who's only just in the door 5 minutes, and Patrick Stewart to be answering. Is that what you're going to accept? Is that the levels you're accepting for us now? Mediocre. Is that what the 49ers are accepting? Because I'll tell you now, money or no money, if the 49ers think mediocrity is acceptable here, they can do one and all. I don't care about their money if that's the level they're going to accept, because I won't accept it, and neither will any Rangers fan. And he talks about Sunday as does he not realise how toxic Sunday is going to be? The atmosphere inside that ground is going to be severe towards Russell Martin. And the board cannot ignore that. You can't. Now, do I think they will sack him? No, I don't. I think it is too early. I think they'll probably find justifications. They always do. Unfortunately, this is the merry-go-round we go in. It'll be November before he gets sacked. That's just what we do.
Tell me one justification for not sacking him. Just one. Just one.
There's none. But there was no justification by the tail end of September last year for not sacking Clement. We waited till January. So, unfortunately, we're not the ones to make the decision, and the board will find ways and means to justify it. But the fact is, that is troubling for me. To think that you can have that conversation. I don't believe it at all. I mean, he talks about the disharmony. See this every time he comes out when we've had a bad result, wanting to throw people under the bus. I mean, immediately talking about disharmony in the change room, and he's asked, were those players in the park? He knows exactly what he's doing there because he knows what the stories are in the papers right now. He knows what the rumours are that are going around. So he knows precisely what he's doing. It's a sort of backhanded, subtle jab to say, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you know what I mean, but I'm not actually throwing any players under the bus, but you really know what I mean. I mean, it's absolute garbage.
I don't know, Ian, if it's the American owners and they don't quite understand football, they don't quite understand Scottish football, but if you have a CEO and a director of football or a technical director or whatever the terms we're using nowadays are, who turn around after the start to the season that we've had, right, and who can see the fan reaction, because as much as football's moved on from just purely needing fan support, we should still matter at some level, the supporters, right? And you see the fan support, you see one of our worst European results, and the performances every game getting worse. If you're the 49ers, if you're Andrew Kavanagh and you're looking at that, and your CEO and your director of football is telling you, give him time. It doesn't matter that we're honking the new. It doesn't matter that we'll be 9 points behind Celtic on Sunday. He's still the right man for the job. They should be sacked. End of. Gone. Get out of the football club.
Absolutely should be gone and sacked. I mean, the 49ers group aren't daft. They've got people within that network who know British football as a whole. I mean, Scottish football is slightly different to English football, but they know how it works here. These people underneath the main guys, they know how it works. So they should be going, right, this is not good. Beale was better in Europe than this guy. Beale was better in the league.
Beale was better across the board.
Yeah, Beale was better in the league. Beale kept us in cups, just. Clement was better all around. Gio, fantastic pretty much for all of it. Gerrard, well, can't say, I mean, I want the Gerrard signal put up and him brought back tonight, even if it's just to take us through the rest of the season. This guy has got nothing, absolutely nothing. All that post-match interview is just the same crap done over and over again. After Motherwell, we'll just have to react in the midweek to get the job done. Dundee, we'll have to react to make sure that we're better next time. Getting beat by Pilsen, we'll react at the weekend, make sure it's better. Draw us in Mirren, we'll react in the week. And now we're going to Sunday and we're waiting for the transfer window to shut, which is exactly what he said. And he's admitted it himself. It's exactly what he was saying about his time in Southampton. And how did that end? Southampton sacked him. They got relegated. So the way it's going right now, I know that Stephen Robinson jokes about it on the morning rabble with you, but there is a serious issue that if we don't get rid of him, that could play out, that we could be in the bottom six in a relegation battle, not in the top six fighting for European spaces or even winning the league. That's as far out of sight already that it's in it against the Celtic team that's no good. But they managed to win games. We can't do it. And it's him. Yes, the players take accountability, but it's his tactics. The buck stops at the manager, player, whatever he is, head coach. But as of, I want to wake up. If he's not gone by the time I go to bed, I want to wake up tomorrow to find out he's gone. And then I can go to work happy.
Tav could genuinely pick the team and it would perform better. You could sack Martin tomorrow and let Tav manage on Sunday and we would make a better fist at it than a Russell Martin. This guy came to your club, Connor, with a dreadful win percentage. Every single supporter I know saying he can't be your manager, it's not going to work, he's useless. Everybody said it. And it's turned out actually worse than what a lot of us thought it would be. You're on mute, Connor.
I'll be me on a booking as well. Ian, it'll be just Martin doing this by the time we're done. I can assure you we'll get out of here early. No, look, again, it comes down to a central point. Nobody wanted Russell Martin. We all feared this scenario happening, and it's exactly what's going on. And there's no contrition from him. It's, as Ian said, it's the same tribe. We'll just need to react to the next game. We'll need to react to the next game. Any chance you want to tell us when that reaction is going to come, Russell? Because so far, we've seen hee-haw. 3 draws in the league, drawn at home with Dundee. I mean, really? That's where we're at with Russell Martin? And he just wants to talk about reactions. There is no reaction. He's getting nothing. And it's because the players don't know what it is he wants them to do. It's one thing, right, and it was bad enough at the tail end of last season when Barry Ferguson was coming out and calling players out and saying, you know, we're telling them what to do, we're giving them instructions and they're just not listening. This is different. It's not that they're not listening to him, it's that they don't understand him. They have no idea what it is he wants them to do. And it's no wonder, because he doesn't know either. And the thing is, he bought the players in that we've got here, right? He bought in Asgard, he brought in Giga, he brought in, everybody else that's come in this summer. He's brought these guys, apart from Lyle Cameron, he's brought these guys into the club. Why is he bringing guys into the club that can't play the style of football he wants to play? Surely, the first prerequisite for any manager, if he's going, this is the style I want to play, is identifying and bringing in players that can actually play that style of football. Or players that are adaptable to it, at least. He's not done that with any of these players. And the problem is he's bringing in a lot of young guys for the Championship down south. And yes, some of them are decent players. I think Gasama is a good player, and I think they'll see better from him. But where's the experience? Joe Rothwell, that's the only experience he's brought in. I mean, come on. You need a mix.
And he's been mince.
He's been poor. I cannot understand. I'm sick and tired of these managers come in and go, we'll just sign all these young boys. No, get us a bit of experience. And play players that are actually playing well. Play Finlay Curtis, who actually is the only person really that's consistently performed since she came in the door. But no, we'll throw him on when we're 6-0, 5-0 down. We half an hour to go, because that's the position to put that young lad into. I mean, if I was Finlay Curtis, I'd have pulled a ham zigzag the night, quite frankly. I went, you're all right, Gaffer. I think I've pulled my Achilles, or I've got a migraine for listening to your pish in that changing room. Either way, I mean, honestly, it blows my mind. And then we're looking, going, well, there's other signings that will come in the door. Maybe we get Majovski in. Aye. And he'll turn Majovski into a pile of country gravy as well, no doubt. Because that's what he does with these players. Ant-Man looked terrific before Russell Martin had a chance to actually properly coach him, because he was in for a day. Within a week, all of a sudden, he looked awful. I mean, come on. Make that make sense. Please make that make sense and tell me it's not a manager. And don't get me wrong, and we'll come on to it. Some of the players do need to take some responsibility, because there are times in a football match where you just need to do the basics. But this is the charade we're under now, as long as Russell Martin stays in the job, I'm afraid.
It very much is. Can I just say a big, massive thank you to Kingy76 and Alistair Cherry as well, who have become members on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much for the support, guys. I hope you enjoy all the extra content, although enjoyment right now isn't exactly an easy thing for us to get. We do have some super chats in. We've got Chaz, Martin, get to fake. Not you, Martin. I feel like doing that as well, Chaz, to be brutally honest with you. Alan's also in with, let's cut to the chase. Is he worse than Beale? Yes.
Yes.
Much worse than Beale. Bear 91. I switched off at 4-0, to be honest, and stared at my ceiling, which was a better option than watching the rest of that game, to be brutally honest with you. My throat's actually starting to go because I was shouting so much. Jennifer Cooper. Butland was the best player. Martin out. Butland was by far the best player for us tonight. The only player really that gets past marks, you can maybe say, at least Finlay Curtis looked like he cared when he came on the park. But absolutely, Butland was our only player on the park tonight. And everybody agrees with Martin now. And yeah, he's much worse than Philip Clement. He's much worse than Philip Clement, Jennifer. And it's not even close. So thank you to all you guys for putting in the super chats. I know that's a lot of support and it's not easy. So thank you very, very much. But something that we were talking about just after that Russell Martin interview, Ian, from the Loud and Loyal, Martin, Stewart, Thelwell and Purdy all need to go. If Stewart, Thelwell and Purdy think that this is acceptable, what's happening right now, they need to go.
They absolutely do. I mean, I think I said just before that, I think they all just thought that it's Scottish football. It's not going to be that difficult. We'll be fine. Lewis in our group chat has just said, if you realised how good a player Everton are now signing now that Thelwell's not there. Says it all, really, doesn't it?
But see, but I've got to put my hands up, Ian, and say that we were all saying when he came in that he'd done a good job at Everton because Everton were in a crisis. So I can't turn around and go, oh, but look at Everton now that he's not there, because I mean, I didn't really do my leg work. I didn't look up. I can't even think of the right word I'm trying to think of. But I was told that he actually done a pretty good job considering the circumstances at Everton. But it's horrible right now. And again, I'm repeating myself because I'm angry. If he thinks that what's happening right now at this football club is acceptable, he's not the right director of football for this football club.
Well, and I'm going to say it's a big if he has already spoken to Martin after that game, because it seems fairly quick to be down in the dressing room talking to Martin before he's talked to the players and said, no, mate, you're all right. Then he's a massive problem. So's Purdy and Stewart. He can go back onto the Enterprise and go off into Deep Space Nine or wherever it is he lives and just get away from it. Because, like Connor said earlier on, he's coming in going, we need to get this club winning again. Well, you've brought a manager in who's going to make sure that we don't do that. I joked on the members' show last night saying, I feel that Martin's come back to do this just because of the way he was treated as a player at Ibrox. And the more and more this goes on, the more and more I'm convinced that is actually true. He'd rather commit career suicide and have us be languishing ridiculously like we are than do a good job. But the stupid thing is, he'll leave here. If he gets sacked tomorrow, he'll leave here a couple of months out and he'll get a job somewhere else. But they've got if they think it's acceptable, which it certainly isn't, they don't understand the club, they don't understand the fan base, they don't understand what they need to do, they don't understand the history of the club at all, and they can all take one and just leave. I'm not doing it. I am generally quite positive, but I'm done. I mean, we're 4 weeks into a season, August isn't even finished, and I'm done.
Yeah, and you're not the only one. And this comment, this super chat, sorry, Connor, is what I think a lot of fans are going to be feeling if he's still in the dugout on Sunday. From William Graham. Thank you, William, for the support, my friend. Sorry, guys, but I genuinely can't watch this anymore. I'll protest outside, but my seat will be empty Sunday if he's still here. Disgraceful. And he won't be the only one, Connor.
No, he will not. There will be plenty of others who will do the same. I mean, look, the fact is that I would have turned that game off at half time tonight, Martin, if I wasn't on the reaction. It's as simple as that. Mm-hmm. The only reason I watched that from minute 1 to minute 90 was because I was on this, and obviously you have to watch the full thing to know what's going on and have proper in-depth conversation about it. But I tell you, there'll be a lot of people who'll do that at the weekend who just won't be. And you'll see empty season. That's not a good look in an Old Firm game. This is not the state of affairs you want to go into in an Old Firm. I mean, the irony is this is probably the lowest ebb that both sides have entered an Old Firm game in quite some time in terms of bad results. I mean, to be fair, Celtic have won 3 out of 3 in the league without conceding a goal, which concerns me greatly, considering how piss poor we are, particularly at the back. But listen, if that's what I was saying earlier, that's the sort of stuff you can't ignore if you're a board. I mean, the fact is, that's what forced Patrick Stewart ultimately to pull the trigger on Philippe Clement last season, because it got to the point where the gaps were getting bigger and bigger in the stands. People had had enough, and he had to, despite the fact he came out at one point publicly stating he wasn't going to stack Clement, he was going to back him, he had to do it. And the same may have to happen again. And it's a shame, because to be perfectly honest with you, Martin, I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. Every single season, the same thing over and over. It's like Groundhog Day. It's absolutely ridiculous. And is it just a prerequisite that when you come in to Rangers Football Club as a chairman, as a sport director, as any kind of leading role on our board, that you have to go from being a seemingly previously sensible person to just being absolutely stupid and just not having a clue anymore? Is that what? Do you delete the cookies in your brains on the way to Ibrox when you sign your contract? Because I don't get it. I don't get what it is that is going on, that is causing this. Because this isn't just one manager, one group of players, one board anymore either. This is different people getting it spectacularly wrong consistently. That is a massive red flag. Massive red flag. And Patrick Stewart and Thelwell and the rest of them need to open their eyes, and they need to listen. The worst thing you can do with a manager is tell him, "Oh, don't worry, you're secure, it's fine." Why is he going to care whether he gets results or not then, if he knows he's safe in a job?
He's not going to change anything.
No. See, if I was Thelwell, as soon as they touch down and they walk through the doors of Ibrox tomorrow afternoon, I'd be huckling Russell Martin straight into my office. That's the first thing I'd be doing. And I'd be telling him, here's what happens, Russell. Either you change or you go. Simple. I mean, personally, I would sack him straight away. But if you're not going to sack him, then at the very least you have that conversation. You say, listen, this isn't continuing. If you don't change things, you don't get a result of the weekend, you're done. You're toast. Because this isn't happening anymore. It's the only way to do it. Otherwise, I'm telling you now, we'll be finishing bottom half of the table. That's how bad Russell Martin is. Believe me.
Yeah, he's absolutely dreadful. Thank you very much for that super chat, William. Aldo, as soon as it's available on my behind the scenes, I will bring up the TAV interview for you. So as soon as that becomes available, mate, I will bring that up. Charles, thank you very much. Member for 7 months. I actually think it's a little bit longer than that, to be fair, but that's what YouTube's telling me. So Charles, thank you very much for the support, my friend. And McSom has become a member on YouTube. Thank you very much again for the support. And as I always say, I hope that you enjoy all the extra content. Chaz is back in me, another super chat. Get to Specsavers. Aaron's is piss. And a lot of these guys can't handle Scottish football. Martin must go now. Well, I mean, we've done Martin to death now, Ian, but in terms of the rest of the players, it's not looking good, mate. It's not looking good.
Not looking good at all. The backline suitor is just not. He just pump him back. If Hearts want him, send him back there, but I don't even think they want him. De Giga looks, again, a player that came in, played a couple of decent games, and then got more tutelage, and Martin seems to have drifted off. Magoma was rinsed tonight. He got that early booking. He didn't know what to do. The midfield. And Cameron, I can kind of accept Cameron. He did work hard. Rothwell, useless. I mean, Asgard, couple of little good bits at the start, but as soon as it started going wrong, he disappeared. Danilo, the only man I've ever known to have a shot and then get up and limp. Ant-Man, I don't think you can really bring Ant-Man into it tonight, because I don't think he had enough time on the pitch, because he was the one that was sacrificed when Aaron's decided he'd had enough. And Gassam, I think there is a special player in Gassam. I just think he's being stifled by the way this team plays. The only one tonight that we've already touched on is Butland. And good God, if Butland hadn't have been there, you're looking at 10, 12. I mean, what did I say? They had 16 shots on target tonight out of 32. Butland saved, he's let in 6, but I think he saved another 10, so it could have been 16-0. So, You know what I mean? Without Butland, God knows what would have happened tonight. You're not telling me that Bruges are anywhere near the level of Liverpool when they've done us 7-1. But I mean, that's an even more embarrassing. You can kind of not accept the 7-1 defeat, but it's Liverpool and they bought £300 million worth of people off the bench. We should be competing with Bruges. We may not win, but we should be competing with them. It shouldn't be 9-1 on aggregate. It should be 3-1, 3-2, 1-0, 2-1. It shouldn't be 9-1. And I don't know if it's the type of player he's bringing in or what he's trying to do with these players, but it's Russell Martin. Because I'm pretty sure that these players weren't bad players when they arrived. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday were raving about Gassama, wishing they could have kept him. And again, you don't get to get on the pitch with the likes of Mbappe and Neymar and all that lot at PSG if you're not a decent player in the first place. The buck stops, as I said, at the manager. Yes, the players have got to take a lot of responsibility for this tonight as well. They did chuck it, but the buck stops at that manager. And until we get him out, we will not know what these players can do.
No, and listen, I will just say there's always going to be, and Chaz, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. There's going to be loads of rumours flying about everywhere, folks, right? There's going to be loads and loads of rumours. Don't believe anything until it's reported by the club. Or unless it comes from media sources that you trust, because there's going to be all sorts of stuff flying about socials tonight. I've certainly not seen anything. I've certainly not heard anything. Not that I hear much anyway, but there's certainly I've certainly not seen anything. Can I just say a big massive thank you to Andrew Duncan for his super sticker. If you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see that as well, and Charlie Hilling as well for her super sticker. Thank you very, very much, Charlie. Well, at least I hope it's her. I hope that's not Charlie's missus, and I've just called him a her. But Charlie, if it's a male or female, thank you very much. I'm having one of those nights where I'm struggling to think because I'm so angry. But Charlie, Andrew, thank you so much for the super stickers. Thank you for the support and what is an absolutely brutal night for the football club. Scott said Gerrard was right, want to win, but keep a loser in. Yeah, I mean, Gerrard was right before he left. You know, you fix the roof while the sun's shining. We haven't done that, and all we've done is kind of gone backwards since Gerrard left the football club. So, Scott, say thank you as well for the super chat. Connor, Russell Martin has lost the dressing room. If the WhatsApp screenshot is to be believed, would explain Raskin and Tav not starting. It would explain a lot of things, but I think it's evident that he's lost the dressing room. I don't think you need a WhatsApp screenshot to know that.
Well, it shouldn't, no. But I'll tell you why he loses the dressing room. It's twofold. It's one, adopting tactics that the players have no clue what it is you're trying to do. That's not going to help, because if you're just confusing players, they're going out to the park going, well, I don't, do you know what you're doing, Soap? No, I don't know. Do you know what you're doing? Not a clue. That's going to lose your dressing room very, very quickly, because they're going to go, well, hold on a minute, this is absolutely ridiculous. And so is making ludicrous comments as well. I mean, I've just read one there on the BBC website. He's actually said in his press conference tonight, Martin, I don't think we'll get beat 6-0 again. What? I don't think we'll get beat 6-0 again. Really, Russell, that's the best you've got for us. I don't think, as if that's on the positive side, we'll not get beat 6-0 again. That's brilliant, mate. You if that helps you sleep at night, then that's what you tell yourself. Because I tell you now, it wouldn't surprise me if we get beat 6-0 at the weekend. They might not be great, but we can't defend. It's an open door policy for us at the back right now, and that's a problem. Any team will just walk through you if you play like that. And for him to stand there and say things like that, no wonder he's lost the dressing room. He's lost. That's why he can't stay. It's not about necessarily so much 100% of the results. It's not necessarily about, well, it's very early in the day. The reason he has to go is because he's lost the dressing room and he's lost the fans. There's no recovering that. You cannot recover that type of situation. If you lose both the team and the fans, you can recover if you're losing the fans, because you can win them back over if you start getting results and winning things. That's, listen, I'll tell you, and I'm now as a fan myself, fans are fickle that way. See, if you start winning things and you get results again, you can be forgiven. But when you lose both the dressing room and the fans at the same time, it's curtains. Especially a dressing room which is majoritarily full of new players that you've just brought in.
Yeah, and 8 of those players started tonight, by the way, so let's not kid on that it's the players for last season that's causing this. Revenue Revolution, thank you very much for the super chat, greatly appreciated. Scotty B, thank you very much for the support, my friend, all the way out in Canada, as I like to call it. It sounds better than Canada, but yeah, there we go. Ian, Luke McLeod with another super chat, thank you very much. Look, why do we continue to play this 4-3-3 with players so unfit to play? It is laughable. I mean, that's one of about 1,000 questions we've got.
Yeah, we play the 4-3-3 because this is the new way that we play football these days. And if you think about playing 4-4-2 with 2 big man, little man up top, apparently you're a dinosaur. But I mean, Pep has ruined football because everybody wants to play the Pep way, play out from the back, even though you're not good enough to do it. And it's not just us. I've seen other teams, seen snippets of other teams trying to do it who just haven't got the players to do it. And we are one of those teams. We don't have the players to do it. We've got a goalkeeper. I mean, I'm not slagging Butland tonight in any way, shape, or form, but we do have a goalkeeper that can't play with the ball at his feet. We've got Suter who thinks he can run with the ball, and then when someone comes near him, falls over and expects to get a free kick. Not going to happen. But we just don't have the players to play the type of football he wants to play. I don't know why we keep playing 4-3-3. It's just the modern way that football's done, and football follows trends now. We don't have individual thought. We don't have individual tactics. We have a set tactic, and every team pretty much plays the same way. We're just really, really bad at it.
I mean, that's an understatement, Ian. That is an absolute understatement. But look, thank you very much, my friend, for the super chat. Thank you for the support. Alistair Cherry, new channel member. On a positive note, it's some week for host Martin being on TalkSport and then TNT in the build-up. I would give all that away for Rangers to be a good team. It's nice to do a bit of media work and be on TalkSport and TNT, etc., or whatever the overlay was for the beginning of the show. I've not seen it, but I would give all that up, Alistair, for Rangers to be a good team, because I don't know how many more weeks and months I can keep coming on here and it just being the same conversations, the same complaints, the same moaning and groaning about individual players and our manager, and it's beginning to take its toll, to be honest with you. Like, when this isn't your job, you can be raging and frustrated, and Rangers can still be your life, but you can get a bit of a break for it. But when you do this every single day and you have to come and talk about the exact same things, oh boy, I would give up TalkSport and TNT in a second for Rangers to be good. So yeah, but Alistair, thank you very much for not only joining as a member, but putting in a super chat as well, my friend. It really does mean a lot. Connor BMC55, massive super chat. Thank you very much, BMC. I have been getting pelters for the last couple of years for banging on about getting McInnes in. If it's good enough for Sir Walter's judgment, then who are we to say no? Your thoughts, lads?
Well, we tried to get McInnes in, didn't we? He rejected us. Chose to stay at Aberdeen. He made that choice. I'm sure he regrets it. In fact, I know for a fact he regrets it now. He had reasons of his own. I'm sure what those reasons are, I don't know. Maybe he's all pal, Tony Dock, because we know what side he supports, was in his ear saying, no, Derry, don't want to go there. Who knows? But we made an offer, we made an approach. He said no. That rubs a lot of fans up the wrong way, because a lot of fans take the view that if Rangers approach you for the job and you turn it down and you're Derek McInnes, then Rangers don't go back to you again. You don't get a second bite at the cherry. Now, personally, I fully respect that sentiment, and I'm tempted to go along with it. But if someone is a good enough manager, then you do. And Derek McInnes was there for the taking before Hearts took him. Hearts got him nailed down right before the last game of the season. We could have done that if we had wanted to. There was nothing stopping us bringing Derek McInnes to the club. But I'll tell you one thing about McInnes that is a fact. He wouldn't have lost 6-0 tonight. Not a chance. Because Derek McInnes actually knows how to set up a defensive team. I'm not saying that he would have won, before anybody tries to cut that and quote me and says, Rangers, would have won. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that he knows how to organise the defence a bit better. And so there's no way for me that we'd be witnessing the type of defending we've witnessed just now. I'm almost certain he'd have got past Dundee and Motherwell. It might have been tougher because of the form they're in, but I'd have given him more chance than Russell Martin at this stage. So, yeah, would they have been better? it would be hard to be worse. The bar is that low. So yeah, of course it would, but I don't think they will go back for McInnes because he turned it down. And apart from being told that Walter Smith apparently told Derek McInnes not to take the job, that wasn't the right time. That may have been true. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know why he made the decision he made. But it does put you in the back. But I'll tell you what, if Russell Martin was to get sacked, the ship sailed with McInnes because he's not going to leave Hearts this early. You'd need to pay quite a bit of compensation, unfortunately. So, yeah, the ship sailed. But there's plenty of other good managers out there. Derek McInnes is not the only one. There's other good managers you can actually go and get. I know it doesn't feel like it because we keep seeming to sign the run to the litter when it comes to managers, but there are actually decent managers out there, believe it or not.
I'll tell you something right now, Ian. I'd take Mike Bassett right now over Russell Martin.
4-4.
Russell.
4-4-2. Christmas tree formation. I don't care. I would take the Mike Bassett way. McInnes, from what I understand, and it was I do know that Walter Smith talked to him, and Walter Smith didn't recommend him for the job. He did tell him at this point in time, I would stay away from it because we are a bin fire. And I think it was proven right. I mean, look what happened after that. And there was some talk that he wasn't ready. He said himself he wasn't ready and that sort of stuff, which if that is the case, then fair play to him. That's a big decision to make because when Rangers come calling, you tend to say yes. I don't think he comes now anyway, because like Connor said, you're going to have to pay Hearts a hell of a lot of money to get him out of that manager seat there. Where do you turn? I mean, at the moment, you're looking at people who are going to be unemployed currently. All the ones that are unemployed that have done a good job for us. Steven Gerrard sticks out. Would Gerrard even come back now? I don't know. But, there's people in there saying Sean Dyche. The one thing that Sean Dyche would do is make it difficult to beat. It'd be boring football, but it'd be difficult to beat. But anyone... no, I'm not even going that far. Anyone but who we've got there right now. I know that we, again, jokingly, the Australian in the morning telling you that Ange Ball might be the way to go. If he's willing to come, I'd take him. That's how desperate I am right now to get away from Russell Martin.
Well, there's rumours that he is coming back to Scotland, just not to Rangers. For obvious reasons.
Hold on, see if you win every game 1-0, you win the league.
Hold on, Connor. What I will say right now is that this is on the gates of Ibrox. I think this has been on Twitter. It's just been sent in our group chat. Get them out now before the seats are empty, which is exactly what we've been talking about. 100%. That is exactly what's going to happen. BMC55, thank you so much for the super chat. I've not really been able to get into the team much because we've got so many super chats coming in, and obviously I need to bring them up. And we're an hour in, and I've still got more to get through. So thank you so much, by the way, for the support tonight, folks. And what is an absolutely horrendous night for the football club. Dan McGill. Celtic just suffered their worst European exit in decades, and yet miraculously, Rangers are still miles behind them. Any confidence for Sunday? Ian?
Nope, absolutely none. I can see it just being a rinse and repeat of this game. The way that because they may not be having their greatest season, but they are 3 wins from 3. They know where the goal is, and they can dig out results. We can't do that. When Connor said we can't defend, the only upside is at the moment they don't seem to be able to shoot. So you're probably looking at a dismal 0-0. But if it goes by the way that it's gone in the recent weeks, it's going to be another 6-7-0. And if he's in charge, I don't even think, even if you sack him now, whether that changes, it will still be it's going to be a horrendous weekend. And if I didn't do this with you guys, I probably wouldn't even bother watching. But you might need bodies, so I'll be watching on Sunday along with everybody else.
Not really. No, I mean, listen. Typical Rangers fashion, you never know. Last season they did turn up against Celtic, apart for the first game, actually, weirdly, but after that they did. But I've no real confidence that they will. And wouldn't it just sum it all up that there's tonight Russell Martin in a press conference saying, I don't think we're going to beat 6-0 again. Proceeds to get beat 6-0 again in his very next game. I mean, that would just sum it all up. I'm not, obviously I don't want that to happen, but that to me would just be the cherry on top of this very, very crappy cake that we're all sitting here have to eat because I really not. And I will just say as well to the first part of the point, I think both sets of fans need to actually get themselves out of this mindset, this narrow-mindedness. Whose exit's worse than whose doesn't matter. We get pumped, and it was an embarrassment. You get put out by a team ranked 311th in the FIFA Club World Rankings. That's also an embarrassment. Whose is worse? Probably Rangers, but it doesn't really matter because in the grand scheme of things, both will be playing Europa League football. That's the ultimate outcome for both clubs. So it's really, really damaging for Scottish football. That's what's happened. We are now, everything that English pundits claim we are is exactly what we are. Celtic played in the Champions League the last few years because due to how well we had done in Europe, we got the coefficient pointing up to the stage where you could get an automatic qualification spot, which at no point Rangers did because we couldn't win the league. As soon as you have to qualify again, all clubs out of the Champions League. None of our clubs at the top table. And by the way, I still think it's a disgrace that the champions of Scotland should have to qualify. I don't think you should. It's called the Champions League. But that's a... My point is, it's an embarrassment all round for everybody, but it's a bigger embarrassment for Scottish football. And I agree with Ian. I think we're going to be in for a dreadful game on Sunday for both sides. I don't see either side really being up for it. And if it does finish a drab 0-0, wouldn't surprise me. In fact, it probably would because it would mean we keep a clean sheet by some miracle.
No, we don't keep. We're not keeping a clean sheet under Russell Martin. According to the BBC, this is from Ian. Bruges 70 touches in the Rangers box. Rangers touches in the Bruges box 0. We actually had 1 touch in the Bruges box. Ian, so get your facts right, mate. You know what I mean?
I'm just going off the BBC. I shouldn't trust them.
Stop trying to spin the narrative that we had no touches we had 1, right? You're just being out of order there, Ian.
Well, that was when Danilo hurt himself trying to kick a ball. Yeah, that's right.
Probably, yeah, the overhead kick thing. So thank you very much, Dan, for the super chat. Thank you for the support. Stephen Garrow, member for 11 months. Sunday is going to be absolutely toxic. If what Thelwell has apparently said tonight is true, Stephen, you are absolutely 100% right. This is what Russell Martin has said in his post-match interview is just going to make things worse. It's just going to make things worse. But thank you for your support for the 11 months, buddy. Stephen Robertson, Ange Ball Baby. Stephen, I'll speak to you in the morning, right? Me and you'll have a conversation in the morning because that is not acceptable. But thank you very much for the super chat, Stephen. But I'll speak to you in the morning. And Ian Hamilton. We need to absolutely demand who pushed for Martin to be our manager. For that deserved jail time, let alone sacking. We have reacted tonight. That might be a slight overreaction to send somebody to jail, but raging is an understatement.
Yeah, and I think the three of us are actually doing quite well to keep a lid on it, to be perfectly honest, because I think there's certain things that we could say about what's gone on since the start of the season that could get this pod shut down. I think I joked about it with you before we come on and said it's probably good to get us 3 in because at least we won't get it shut down. But we know who got him the job. Patrick Stewart, and whoever interviewed him 7 times gave him the job. So the buck stops with them guys, unless we've already talked about them. Those guys need to go. As well as Martin, the signings haven't been good enough. The manager's not good enough. His backroom team's not good enough. It's just all of it's just not good enough. And I don't know if the 49ers group and all the rest of them were at these interviews, or whether they just left it to Thelwell, Purdy, and Stewart. I'd imagine it's the latter, that they just left it to them. But he sold them down a river because, not to swear too much, but bullshit is know how to lie in an interview. It's that simple. I've worked with people who have lied their ass off to get the job and are useless at it. But like I said before, if he gets the sack from us tomorrow, we'll find a job next week because that's football. And it's the weirdest job in the world that you can be really, really bad at what you do and end up with another job the next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think having a 30% win percentage, you should be nowhere near the Rangers job in the first place.
No, shouldn't be.
But Ian, thank you very, very much for the super chat, my friend. Thank you for the support. And Jennifer Cooper back in again. Martin has no clue in football, never mind Scottish football. Can I disagree with that? I think all the fans of previous clubs, Jennifer, will tell you exactly the same thing, to be brutally honest with you. That he's not got a scooby what he's doing. And I totally agree with what Ian said earlier. I genuinely, and this is hard for us to compute and even consider. Russell Martin stays in charge for the rest of this season. We are bottom six. We are 100% bottom six. That is how poor a manager this man is. That's how bad this man is. And Thelwell and Stewart think it's okay to go to him after a 6-0 pumping in Europe, 9-1 in aggregate. They're on the first 3 league games of the season, 6 points behind Celtic. Will be 9 points on Sunday if he's in the dugout. To go to him, you're absolutely fine, mate. Don't worry about it. We knew it was going to take time. No, absolutely not. Jennifer, thank you very, very much. Now, we haven't had much time, Connor, and I'll speak about this more in the afternoon rabble tomorrow. But we haven't had much time really to go look at individual players, and we don't really have much time to look at individual players tonight because it is 11:15. Folk do want to get to their bed for work in the morning. But as much as we sit here and we say Russell Martin needs sacked, which he absolutely does, Russell Martin's not good enough, which he absolutely is not good enough. A lot of these players need to take a long, hard look at themselves and actually say to themselves, am I good enough to play at this football club? Because right now, for what I'm seeing, they're not.
Of course they do. You know, this is not a one-way street. And everything we've said about Russell Martin tonight has been more than justified and has been correct. And that's why we've spent so long on it, because, you know, it merited it. But these players, and we have alluded to it, you cannot go out there as a professional football player and put that performance in. There are Rangers fans that have travelled not an insignificant distance either. I know Belgium's not necessarily Kazakhstan, but it's still, you know, a journey in the middle of a working week for people to make. And that's what's served up to them by those players. Sometimes you have to take responsibility on the park as a player and do things differently, regardless of what the manager's doing. At times you have to. And nobody did. And there's too many players out there, again, who were anonymous, who did nothing. Danilo wasted a jersey again. What did he do? You know, and I know we weren't in the attacking area often, but the times we were, he had it once or twice and he would just give it away straight away. Slack pass, stupid shot that there was no point in taking because he was too close to the defender. That was about the sum total of his performance and the rest of them as well. Giga again. Shocking performance for Giga again. Shocking. That first goal. You can't concede that first goal. There's two of you. Makoma and Giga both standing there. You've got to go with them. They were saying in commentary, well, maybe, you know, did they catch him off guard? They didn't see him. One of them sees him, surely. Giga surely sees him, and he just lets him go. Just there you go in front of me, and you get your goal.
They were marking space. They were zonal marking space. I hate it.
After the start last week, why have they done it again? Another start like that. You can't start games of football playing that poorly. And Giga, again, I'm sorry, is involved. And that's a massive red flag for me. This boy is not at the level we need for our centre-backs to be at. We were chasing Connor Cody at one point this summer. And we bring in Giga now. If you look at Cody and Giga, I'm sorry, but Cody is miles better of a centre-back than Giga at this moment in time. There's no doubt. But Giga might improve. I don't see it, but he might. But that's dreadful. I've got some hope for Makoma because he's only just in, and I don't think he's necessarily a bad player.
No, do you know what? Do you know what I'll say on that, Connor? Right, that was a game absolutely that if you had another proper left back, you'd take Makoma off after 10-15 minutes, and you go, right, you're a young guy, you've not really played at this level before, we're going to protect you. Right, but see, because the recruitment in that area has been so poor, and he is the only left back that we now have at the football club, he has to play that 90 minutes. It was clear after 10 minutes that he wasn't ready for that. It was absolutely clear. He gets booked early on for a silly challenge that an experienced player shouldn't or doesn't make, and then he's walking a tightrope for the rest of the game. So that was a game that a young boy like that, 19 years of age, hasn't played at a very high level either. If he is thrown into it, then he's taken off early, or he shouldn't be thrown into that game at all. That's recruitment for you. It's recruitment that's done that.
But the thing is, where's the leadership as well for your captain? John Suter was captain, obviously, for 12 minutes until Tav came on when Aarons gets sent off. But even in that moment, where is it was just an utter, well, Oh well, okay, we've conceded. Where's the fire? Where's the anger? Where's John Souttar screaming at his centre backs? What are you doing? You have to be better. Because you know what? That's part of being a captain. That's part of leadership. Sometimes you need to get angry. Sometimes you need to be a bit of a bar steward on that park. That's just what you need to do, because that's sometimes the only thing that will motivate players. Getting rockets up their backside out there. That's part of your captain's job. Souttar didn't do that. He didn't. Tav, I'll slightly say for Tav, he's more vocal than Souttar. That much he was when he came on the park. But it wouldn't be hard because Souttar was quiet as a mouse. You know, to concede a goal like that early in a game that you know the first goal is basically going to make a break whether you can get back into it, and not look arsed that you've conceded it does not compute to me. That makes no sense to me. All over, just a complete shambles. One decent wee run for Asgard, and then, as Ian said earlier, disappears, fades away. It might as well not have been on the park. I mean, tonight his performance was basically as mythical as Asgard, the actual planet, is, because non-existent, just non-existent. It's, yeah, and that's something that players have to take responsibility for. It's easy to always go into managers, but the players need to take responsibility as well, especially the ones that have been there.
They chucked it. They absolutely chucked it.
Of course they did.
Players
They
chucked it. And listen, Ross Clark, one of our members, one of our co-owner members, when we analysing the game, guys, me and William Urban are back at 12:30 tomorrow for the afternoon rabble, where we will go through the goals. Tonight's not a night for going through the goals. Tonight was a night to get our thoughts and feelings out about the manager and the players, as you've seen from all the super chats. So tomorrow at 12:30, me and Willie will have a look back at the game. After we're done here, I'll go back and watch the game. So I will. And then we can properly give the actual game analysis tomorrow at 12:30 on the afternoon rabble. Rob D as well has joined as a member on YouTube. Thank you very much, Rob, for the support. I hope you enjoy all the extra content. And Bluebell's a Blue Channel member. Who's taking this job, though? We had such positivity, Ian, with the takeover. It was primed to get the right man in and push on. Now look at the job. Most managers were on a mile. Shambles.
That's what we kind of already touched on it. The words McInnes. I know that Jackson Bowe was saying that we're being a bit snobby. Why haven't we mentioned Martindale? I mean, as much as I love Martindale and the way he will fly off the handle, when you've seen little, if you are on X a lot, you'll have heard the halftime route he gave his players. But we won't go anywhere near Martindale as a manager. He may well come in as part of a backroom team, but he would never be given the job, I don't think. But at least he would put some fire into it. The one name, well, two names, and Alan's going to love this if he's listening. Barry, come back in, because he couldn't do any worse a job than what Martin's doing. But I do think that Barry lived off the Fenerbahce away result and the win at Parkhead. Then anything else, if you actually look at his tenure overall, was awful. The one I'll keep going back to it. The one name that keeps coming back to me, who's sat there unemployed currently, who would take this job in a heartbeat, is Stevie G. And if that's the option, go get him, even if it's just to the end of the season. Then we'll see what we'll do from there. I don't see anyone else coming at the moment, but I think he would. And I know it took him a while to get it going, but he told us when he came in at that point, this isn't going to be a quick fix. This is going to take me 3 years, and it did. I don't care that it was a COVID season. I don't care that the stadiums were empty, because those players could do it. They went to a European final the next year in front of full stadiums. So I'm not buying that bit at all. But again, anybody but the Martin. We are a shambles. It was supposed to be so much better than this. That takeover, we said that we'd be busy throughout the summer. We're going to talk about the takeover. We're going to be talking about a new manager. We're going to go in the right direction. We're going to be challenging. And as I said, I think on a previous pod, by the end of September, League gone, Champions League gone, League Cup gone, season gone. What's the point?
Yeah, that's exactly it, mate. That is absolutely exactly it. Bluebell's a Blue, thank you very much, my friend. Channel member as well for the super chat. Stuart Henderson as well. Is he sacked yet? No, not quite yet. Don't believe all the rumours that are flying about. Just wait until it is revealed from actual sources. But according to the manager, Kevin Thirlwell says his job's absolutely safe, so don't worry about it. that's Martin shouldn't worry about it, whereas we're all sitting here absolutely petrified that his job's safe. And I've just messaged somebody and they've messaged me back, it can't be true. It just can't be true what Martin's saying. But we will find out in due course. Stuart, thank you very, very much, my friend, for the super chat. And we'll finish up on this corner. And again, 12:30 tomorrow, afternoon rabble, we'll delve into the game and we'll probably talk a lot more on Martin. I would imagine it won't be just a half an hour show tomorrow. I would imagine. It's because for a start, it's me and William Irwin. So they usually do run longer than half an hour. Have you ever seen a group of players down tools so fast? I haven't. Not to my knowledge, Connor.
No, I think really what happened is as soon as Bruges scored the first goal and ultimately made it 4-1, I think at that point the players all went, we're out, game's done, it's finished, and decided that no longer was there any effort required. The problem, of course, being that you still need to keep going. There's still, at that point, there was still about 86 minutes left to go, but you can't down tools like that. You just need to keep going. You keep ploughing away. See if you get a goal back, you might make it interesting. 2-goal leads, you never know. But it doesn't matter, even if the reality tells you and the odds are stacked against you that you're probably out. You just keep going. But they didn't. They just went, can't be bothered. And that was epitomised, of course, by Max Aarons, because that was the ultimate in, I went off this part because I can't be bothered. I can see where this has gone. Good night. Tackle. That's why he's done that. But we said it earlier. So yeah, it's a shame because there's ways and means to lose games of football, and that tonight is not one of them. Do you know odds can be stacked against you? I've seen plenty of teams go down to 10 men and fight. Still may end up on the losing side, but they fight for it. None of that for Rangers tonight, and that's about having a good mentality. And that's just something we haven't had for years. So that's ultimately a problem. So no, I haven't seen that happen so fast, but I'm not surprised because, as I say, they just, as soon as you can see, that's it, done. It's a shocking attitude to have. It's a mentality problem that I don't see being resolved, certainly under Russell Martin, because he's not got the chops to do it.
Can I just say, by the way, that Rob D actually upgraded his membership because JD's been giving me into trouble for getting that wrong. So thank you very much for the upgrade, Rob. Thank you, my friend. And PJ1977 has joined as a YouTube member. Thank you very much, PJ, for the support. Right, folks, that will do us for tonight. Is another desperately disappointing performance and result under this shocking tenure so far of Russell Martin. Here's hoping that when we all wake up tomorrow, we wake up to a notification saying that he is no longer the manager of Rangers Football Club. But from what we're hearing tonight, I certainly wouldn't hold my breath. Ian, thank you very much, my friend.
No problem. Never an easy one to do. So, hour and 18 minutes, we could have probably kept on going.
Oh, mate, we could have done this right through to the morning's afternoon rabble. Connor, thank you very much.
Not quite a pleasure, but yeah, one of those ones. Right, you've got to be here because unlike that Rangers team tonight, Martin, regardless of how bad things get, we will still show up and we'll still be here because that's the mentality of the Rabble. Do you know what I mean? So maybe they can leave it there, but.
Well, I've got to now go back downstairs and watch that game again and take notes. Because I didn't take notes during it, and I need it for the afternoon rabble tomorrow. By the way, the reason that I haven't brought up the Tav interview is because it isn't available on socials, so I can't bring it on because I can't take it off a YouTube site because I'll get obviously copyrighted.
Can I tell you the Tav interview in a summary? I'm disappointed and we'll need to go again on Sunday. I mean, that's pretty much.
Yeah, but I think there's a part of it that he was asked if he still backs the manager, and he swerved the question rather than saying yes or no. I believe so. I believe so. I haven't heard that, so I can't confirm that or anything. I'm sure there's probably people in the comments who can confirm it, but I haven't seen it yet. I was hoping to see it, but it's not been put on any of the socials yet. So, folks, listen, thank you so much for all the super chats tonight, by the way, as well. I mean, we've got over 400 likes on the show, over 18, so just over 17. I said that as if it was a big difference. 17,000 views on YouTube alone already. So thank you very, very much, folks. I know a lot of them are people tuning in to have a bit of a laugh and a joke, but hey, that's what you put yourself on the internet for, isn't it? So yeah, we're back tomorrow morning for members at 10 a.m. for your morning rabble. That's your chance to have your say, and I'm pretty sure a few of you will want to tomorrow morning. And then we are back at 12:30 for the afternoon rabble, and then we've got a bit of fun tomorrow night for the 2K25 WWE members versus
which I will get moaned at by you two if it doesn't go right. So
you will, and you'll deserve
I mean,
it.
you will,
You'll absolutely deserve it. But we'll leave it there, folks. Go to your bed, go and grab another can of beer, go for a walk, go for a drive. Obviously not if you've had a can of beer, but go for a drive. Do anything you can just to take that out your head. And yeah, we'll speak very, very soon.